Right now, if you are getting into real estate investing, these are a couple of tips that are gonna help you create the home that you're looking for having. So what we're gonna do is, this is a Baltimore City property, and this is a great property that would be perfect. Things that we can do to make this property better. So Olin is behind the camera. Y'all all know Olin, you see him all the time. So he and I together are gonna walk through this property and dissect it on things that have been done well in here and things that can be done a little bit better. So we're gonna step outside first for just a second. All right, so this is the property, and we're right here at 606 Jefferson Street. So right from the front, you can see the presentation is definitely not what we want it to be. There's some things that we can do to clean this property up to make it look a little bit better. So you see the stairs, they have spray paint on them. We'd love to get rid of that spray paint. I'm not quite sure how to, but we're gonna send this video to the owner of this property so he can use this as a resource to make this thing a little better as well. So some other things, our mailbox has fallen. We wanna put that back up. Whenever Olin actually got here, he noticed that the wrapping around the window is not great. Also, whenever you walk up to this property, you can also see the windows are boarded up. Look, I'm gonna tell you now, this is not what you necessarily want to do. You don't want to have someone walk up to your property and board it up, because that is giving the idea that it's not safe to go inside. And it actually brings down the neighborhood. So yeah, we want to just make sure that everything is cleaned up. So we're gonna go on inside, and then we'll just keep walking through and pointing things out for you. So another thing, as we are in here, you can see that like this cover is down on the floor. Anytime you present a property to the public and we're on the market for you to look at a property, you want to make sure that everything is in its perfect place. So whenever you walk into the space, it should feel like home. So you want to take up things like this. You want to get rid of any unnecessary trash or debris that's around. So then whenever someone walks into the space, then they can picture themselves in the space. And the thing about it is, what people fail to realize is a property that is here for a potential investment is actually going to be the same presentation as something that is just here for a standard homeowner. So here, things like this, we want to take the paint off, or the paint covering off of the window, and we want to put, if you're wanting to protect the home so that people can't see inside of the property, it's better to just put blinds up. Another thing is, if you're investing in Baltimore City, the second your electrical is installed, make sure that you immediately install an alarm system. People are watching. They really are. They're watching these properties, and they're going in for the opportunity to see what they can get out of the properties. So every step and every investment that you put in here is an opportunity for somebody to take something. So just make sure you watch out for that. Also, as we're walking the property, like I said, it should feel like it's home. So we want to take the plastic off of things. We want to make sure that all the blue tape is gone. We want to make sure the blue tape is gone here as well. So if there's any debris on the floor, you want to make sure that all of that is cleaned up. So as you go down this hallway, you can actually see that there's like even more debris, and it's from the touch-up paint where they sanded the wall to make sure that it was perfectly flat. So we want all that cleaned up, because that is a part of the presentation of the house. Okay? And now we're gonna step into this room right here. So yeah, we still have a few things on the floor, but whenever someone comes in, they're gonna see that this window is broken. You do not want to present your house with a broken window. So it's just these small touches that make sense. And also, just as an FYI to anybody who's buying in a neighborhood that's not quite as presentable as other neighborhoods, if there's a lot of trash or anything of that sort, you're gonna wanna make sure that you put a cover over your AC unit, your exterior unit, because it will be stolen. It will be stolen. So also, Another presentation item is with this part where the handles aren't painted. The thing about it is, if a handle isn't painted, if somebody forgot something as small as a handle being painted, then a potential home owner or a potential home buyer is going to feel like you may have forgotten other things in the property. So we want to make sure to not miss those items, because then they're gonna feel like something was missed inside of the walls of the property. We don't want anyone to feel unsafe in any way. Also, this is another thing that a lot of people here in Baltimore City do, but it doesn't really make sense. Please stop buying the locks on both sides. It needs to be an interior turned lock. This is a fire safety hazard, because if somebody is inside of this property and they come through to exit this property, but they have to find a key to exit this property, they're burned up. They're gone. It's done, because they are not going to be able to find a key in a situation of emergency. So now we'll go on down to the basement. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Let's pop into this bathroom before we go into the basement. So this bathroom, so whenever you present your property to the public, make sure that your contractors haven't cleaned their brushes and their paint in here. Make sure the floor is cleaned up. Make sure that the property is clean. Like all of this grading and all of this should all be gone. It should be clean. I don't want to see pee stains on the toilet. Like that's crazy. And this is not something that's not something that is presentable whenever you are wanting to sell your home. So think about it as a method of you coming in and using this space on your own. If you come in and use this space on your own, you wouldn't feel comfortable using a toilet that has who knows whose pee on it. You know, so we just want to make sure that we take care of these things. Make sure the property is presented very well. Things like this, like someone scratched the unit, we want to replace that. Or even better, as furniture and large items are coming in, don't put your thermostat up to be broken. Like, it's just simple things in your process that can make the presentation a lot better. So, you know what? We're not gonna go down to the basement, but what I'm gonna have you do is just peek down there. But with the basement, you want your basement to be clean. Clean. There should be nothing, there should be no dust, there should be no debris, there should be no building materials, none of it. So, go ahead and paint your stairs, but leave them bare until the property has been cleaned. And at that point, once people come through to look at the property and the stairs, then at that point they'll be able to see a clean process. They'll be able to see a clean presentation.
The white is the toe kit, and the brown right here, the wood grain, is the actual cabinet. So that white toe kick should go all the way around to the base cabinet.
Working on upstairs. So another thing is take these down, put blinds up. The second you can put your blinds in is whenever you want to put the blinds in. You don't want the property boarded up because it makes it look unsafe. You don't want to walk into your future home and it's boarded up. This is an exterior light or exterior, it's an exterior light cover. Just make sure that you read the
Got you.
Yeah. And this bathroom definitely looks a lot better, but we just want to make sure you keep up the cleanliness in the house as you're bringing the house to market. And I feel like this is the room where I really don't have much feedback on, but make sure that all of your handles and pulls are in place. Make sure that it smells good, make sure that it feels good. And another thing is staging is always going to help you out, because staging will be the defining factor on if people even notice some of these imperfections. Staging draws the eye away from some of the other things that you may see. I'm just gonna go ahead and close it out. But these are things that you need to just make sure that you keep in your mind as you're navigating your investing journey. Because I'll say one huge tip is just make sure that you are prepared with your process. So then, as you're navigating into your actual home ownership and your investment life, then you understand what the expectation is. Another tip is make sure you go around and look at the other houses in the neighborhood, so then you know what other people are seeing as they're navigating this space. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching this video and staying on this journey with me. But this is what we do as our final punch out before we navigate into the next step, being on the market and having people actually walk the property. So again, my name is Lauren DiMartino with the Joint Legacy Home Group of eXp Realty, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.